What a sorry excuse for a literary gathering. A very philosophical approach to clothing and an overstated use of that newfangled spicy-smelling carbolic. Where do you think yous are? Yous are neither fit for down the fish dock or selling matches round the big market. What sight. Slack hair and comfy shoes. Pets. Where's your standards? Not like in my day when if it wasn't starched to buggery, it wasn't right. Mind, I have to say, that Alexander Armstrong is a dab of the old sort. Just my cup of tea. Gentlemanly like. And when there's no one about, he sings as loud as a music hall lot. I always imagine he knows I'm here and he's singing just to me. Canny lad. I see the look on your faces. Whose is that voice, you're wondering? Well, you'll find out soon enough. I'm an old soul, granted permission to manifest in voice once every 200 years. To make my mark, claim my right to be known. So, you're getting warm? Closing in on the mystery? I've been here a long time, Hinnies. Aye, it's me, Mrs. Affleck. Though I imagine no one here has any idea who I am. But I remember you all. I know the lot of you. Every last one. Slinking about in the stacks, whispering like mice, tapping away on your laptops as if the books aren't shouting to be read. I've seen you. Little old me. But I haven't always been so old. I was just a lass when I started working for the Society back in 1803. Widowed at 18 with a scrubbed face and wide eyes. Doing and fetching and seeing to stuff at the various meeting places they used. Learning myself stuff as I went. By the time they built this wonder palace in 1825, I was a respected woman. Here, among the great of the Lytton Fill. Columns and all like some Grecian temple for clever clogsers. Proud as a chubby bairn I was. Included in the glory, even if it was from behind a mop. Imagine it. All them grand men with their cravats and ideals, gabbing on about enlightenment and invention. And there was me, mop in hand, cleaning up the very floor they walked on, listening to them, working it out, thinking. Mr. Turner was a sort of guardian to me, proper high-minded and a kind man. Aye, you're right, it was William Turner, minister. So past my apron and knew I had more between my ears than just dust and cobwebs. He was a Unitarian, friends with James Losh from the Hanover Square place where I cleaned too. They both trusted me. That was how I got the job in the first place. When we came here, Mr. Turner gave me one of only 2 sets of keys to the whole place. Me. Not a scholar, not a man, just me, the cleaner. Do you know what that means? Trust, respect. I wasn't just washing towels and sweeping hearths. I was garden knowledge. To me, I was the keeper of thoughts. And at night or early morning before anyone was in, I could swear I heard some of those books talk, whisper to me, tell me their secrets. I had to look after the apparatus too. I wasn't daft. They let me loose on maintaining the air pumps, magnetic who'd-you-call-its, scientific doodahs for all the experiments they did. No ordinary woman would be allowed near such precious things. But I was careful. And I cleaned them better than they cleaned up some of their more fanciful ideas. You know, in them early days, it was only men allowed in proper. They'd sit in their little meetings posing and talking about natural philosophy like it was a champion pigeon. Women? Oh, we weren't encouraged. Not even when they finally let us in as reading members. No vote, no voice. But I was always there, sweeping under their feet, cleaning their cups, overhearing their secrets. But then, just like that, 1825 came and went. And I was gone too. The records stop. Just a few shillings paid for cleaning and towels, and then silence. Brushed away like me own dust. No send-off, no thanks. And soon, even me name faded from the paper. But I never left. You see, what happened was, one night, about a year after the new place opened, I'd locked up as usual and was heading home. Anyway, as I got to Castlegarth, just down the road, I knew I was being followed. I got to the top of the Half Moon Battery, you know, the long, twisty stone steps that run down towards the quay, when this man tried to drag me over. He was rough. He wanted the keys off us, but I wasn't having any of it. As I lashed out, flailing about like a banshee, I felt this warm sensation under me bodice. But before I had the chance to realise what it was, I twisted him round so much I sent him clattering down the stairs. Wait, I was in shock. I felt weak. I couldn't go past him in case he came round. So I took myself back up the garth and into the Lytton Fill, where I knew I'd be safe till the morning. All I know is that the next day, Mr. Turner found me, slumped on one of the desks. But I wasn't in me body. I was standing right beside it, shouting like a fishwife for his attention, but nothing. It's hard to understand the way they forgot me. No portrait, no plaque, not even a dusty note in the corner saying, "Here cleaned Mrs. Affleck, keeper of knowledge and soap." A woman's work, they say, is never done. In my case, that's literal. Even in death, I keep at it. Poltergeist with a purpose, that's me. So I've hung about and seen all sorts of stuff. I watched Mr. Stevenson broadcasting desperately to all who would listen about his safety lamp, the Geordie lamp. That Davy fella has got a lot to answer for, mind. And when Mr. Swan turned the electric lights on in 1879, well, bugger my, it was like magic. I was stood right beside him with all the great and the good as it blazed for the first time, marvelling at how bright it was. I may have been dead, but I still blinked. And of the books, the books. There's one printed before 1701, and still smelling of old leather and ink. I remember when there were just 8,000 of them. Now it's near 200,000. Imagine that. All them stories, ideas, dreams, arguments. And I've dusted every last one, in life and after. I've watched the world change from this place. I've seen women finally take their place behind the podium, not just behind the broom. I've heard laughter echo in them once stuffy halls. And I've seen some daft goings on too. folk coming in dressed like I don't know what. Mr. Wilde, for a start, with his odd way of talking. Anne Cleves, who always seems to be whispering to herself. Once I heard her say, "With me, Joe." And I wondered if she knew I was there and took a guess at me name. And once a boy came in, said he worked in a pet shop. Came back years later with his mate and everyone seemed to make a proper fuss. But to my mind, this place was never just a conversation club. It was a portal. A magical thing. They thought they were just discussing politics and science, but what they did, what we did, I, me included, was build a sanctuary for curiosity. And you don't sweep away something like that so easy. And I've read so many books now. Poetry especially. I love poetry. It spills out of me like it was made to be famous. Maybe this is my affliction. Too late at the poetry game? But then sometimes I think my affliction is just not being seen, not being known. All them great minds get statues and dedications. But what about the hands that opened the doors, boiled the kettles, scrubbed the steps? What about the women who made it possible? I was one of the first. And I'm still here. You think ghosts wear sheets and rattle chains? Bugger to that. I wear a pinny and I make the lights flicker in the back room when no one's looking. I put books back on the wrong shelf just for the devilment of it. I send a chill down your spine when you read too loud. And I've got a soft spot for knocking over cups left on tables without coasters. Standards, pet, standards. I love a bit of mischief. You think that book that flew off the shelf last week was an accident? You should have seen his face. I got such a laugh from that. Or when I made the bulbs flicker during the talk on Victorian medicine. Well, they were talking about spiritualism. Seemed only polite to make an appearance. I've danced in the reading room when the moon's been high. I've sung lullabies in the music section, soft as breath. And sometimes, just sometimes, I sit beside a lonely reader and whisper a line from a poem they need to hear. But some of you have ears attuned to the old place. You feel me, don't you? I see the hairs rise on your arms. I feel your breath catch. Aye, that's me. This place breathes. It lives. It remembers. And so do I. I'm the shiver down your neck, the creak when no one's near, the smell of lavender soap in the archives. Don't be afraid. It's Mrs. Affleck clocking in for another shift. Well, it's coming to the end of me time to speak. But before I go and miss the only opportunity for another 200 years, I've had to make sure I'll never be forgotten again, and that my affliction will be fully exercised. So I've written a poem. But to make sure my legacy lives on proper this time, I've etched it into the chief librarian's desk using my own set of keys that she now keeps as a sort of trophy. Naturally enough, she hides them under a pile of books, which nestle hesitantly alongside a variety of other fittingly prized objects, of which the central feature is a well-thumbed but fully intact copy of The Dodo and Its Kindred by H.E. Strickland, all of which have been personally selected by the librarian for their own particular aesthetic, but only able to be fully appreciated once piled precariously enough in a manner suggestive of the rise and fall of ancient Mesopotamia. My poem is aptly called The Dead Are Not Dead, We're Just Hiding. And the librarian knows all about that, don't you, Kay? The number of times you've looked up sharpish, just as I got to the last line in my Geordie version of Funeral Blues, is nobody's business. Wonder what she'll do when she sees a desk, though. Although I've sort of let the cat out of the bag now. Right, that's me. Back off into the shadows and corners, whispering me secrets in silence until the next 200 years pass and I'm permitted back. I'm already planning me next poem. And, as luck would have it, it's about you, pet. Yes, you. Stood in the corner with the look of a cobblefisher's navvy about you. But given the close proximity of others, I imagine without the cling of mackerel on your peculiar-looking gansy. Yes, you. And it starts like this. Oh, crikey Moses, what a clip of a clot. Bugger my, why can't he try to add some starch to his North Face top? Because that would definitely be an improvement if you ask me. Anyway, pets, I'm fading fast. I'll say hello from the other side.